Hey, what's up, you guys? Okay, really quick before the show starts, I just want to remind you that you can see the show, not just hear it. And you're going to want to see the episodes that we got for you.
Wow.
They're insane. They're really good. And if you're an eligible AT&T wireless customer, you can stream the show over and over again for a year at no extra cost. All you got to do is go to fullscreen.com/Shane, THX, the number 2, ATT. All right, enjoy the show.
Take it away.
Jane and Drew and Jess.
Hey, girl.
Don't forget Jess.
Yeah.
She's the best.
I'm the best.
The best.
Yeah, that's
Yay!
Drew, I'm loving the love today from you.
Guys, this is a big moment because we have a special guest here today. We have Claire Wineland!
In the house, finally.
Now, first of all, guys, if you don't know who Claire is, let me give you a really quick breakdown. YouTube channel, The Clarity Project, one of my favorite YouTube channels of all time. And her TED Talks blow me away. And her person blows me away. Yeah. I'm obsessed
me
with
too.
you.
That makes
Why?
me so, I don't know.
You did great.
I have no idea why. I just
I
got
didn't watch
insecure.
it.
I had no idea. Thank you.
So don't worry.
That's wonderful. That's the best news ever.
Okay, so give us a breakdown. You said that you almost died last time you canceled on the show.
Yeah. Like,
Before we get into that, though, let's give a breakdown of you,
Sorry.
your past,
Who are you? What do
your
you do?
situation.
The ASMR that's happening right now with the oxygen. I love it.
Getting tingles.
the whole thing is just going to be me heavy breathing.
Me.
So I have cystic fibrosis, which is something I was born with. It's genetic. It's progressive. So as you get older, it gets worse. And it's terminal, meaning it kills you.
Exciting.
Thank you for the promo.
It gets worse.
Keep going.
And when I was around 13, I pretty much died. I was in a coma for, I flatlined in the elevator too.
Oh my
Of all
God.
the
Did you see the light?
I'm so
No.
glad I wasn't in that elevator.
No, of all the
right.
places to flatline, thank you. I'm gonna have a horrible, crippling fear of elevators.
Oh my
Not
God.
like I didn't already. But
Oh my
anyway,
God.
yeah.
Okay.
Do you use elevators still now?
I do because I live on a second story and I'm a cripple. So I have to.
Got it. Yep.
Right.
Got it.
Every single time.
That's my excuse too for using elevators for the second floor. Anyways.
No, there's certain people with CF that work out for 3 hours every day.
Nah, fuck that.
Which,
No.
I don't even have CF and I don't work out for 3 hours a day.
So when I was 13, I had a horrible situation, so to say, and I was in a coma for around 2.5 weeks, and I had a 1% chance of surviving.
Woo!
God.
Yeah.
The 1%. You.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
You couldn't win the lottery.
Yeah, right.
know what I mean?
Of all
Like,
the things.
the odds.
I mean, it's weird too because, to be honest with you, I was 13 when I nearly died. No one really wants to be alive at 13.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know why I survived.
No.
Because it genuinely wasn't because I was like, I'm gonna make it through.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, I would take a coma today.
Yeah, right?
Take it.
I did get to sleep through my 13th year.
That's
though.
pretty awesome. That would have been nice.
So after I came out of that, though, there was I had such a huge support system that kind of helped my family get through that. My mom couldn't work; she had to be there with me. My whole family pretty much couldn't do anything.
Oh my God.
And what we realized is there's this huge need in the cystic fibrosis community for, a sort of safety net financially for families who have CF.
Right.
Because, all the money that gets raised for CF goes to finding a cure for it. And that means that there's this kind of huge gap of all right, this is wonderful if there's a cure 10 years down the line, but what happens? I'm living with it now.
Yeah.
My mom doesn't have a job. How do we actually make it?
Right.
And so after I came out of the coma, we started a foundation. And then it's called the Claire's Place Foundation. And from there, it just sort of spiraled. And I went and started doing, I guess, activism.
Activism. I heard about that.
Where can I get some of that?
It's like activism, but a little sassy.
It's like
Activism.
Activia, the yogurt.
Yeah, activism.
And then I started doing public speaking, and then somehow ended up on YouTube. And I was not expecting anyone to be even the slightest bit interested in what I had to say.
Right.
So it was, at all. And I figured it'd be a small group of other CFers who were yeah, cool, bro. Dying sucks.
Yeah.
But it actually grew. And and here I am. And
No.
there's been weird stuff with the YouTube for the past few years where the people who kind of helped me start it ended up blocking me out of my own channel and then
What?
and completely shutting me off from being able to have any access to it, which is a whole debacle in and of itself.
Who are these assholes?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Dick move.
So is it somebody that helped you make the videos, like produce them, edit them, and all that stuff?
Because I'm so bad with technology. It's disgusting. And I knew I could never edit videos, so I had help.
And they're like holding it hostage?
Yeah, pretty much.
The fuck? You want me to go over there?
Yeah.
Wait,
All right.
Go ahead.
I'll bring some of my Goombas and I'll take care of it.
I started it. I don't feel
Yeah,
like
you
I
don't have to
shouldn't
say
say
it.
the name. But I actually made a new channel recently.
Oh, okay, good.
To actually try and have my own. So that I had
What's that
creative
called?
control. Just look up Claire Wineland. It's under that for now. I haven't had it long enough to have like a fancy backslash.
Right.
But I have a whole video on what happened with it.
Okay.
And no, it's crazy. It's funny you're not taught when you're a sick person to like watch your back.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're not taught.
You're
people
too
are
busy
gonna-
watching your life.
Right.
Yeah, and you also just like don't expect people to screw you over when you're sick. But there's
No, there's fucked up people because they'll
Yeah.
see like, ooh, a weakness.
Yeah.
also it's horrible for standing up for myself, which is another problem in and of
Right.
itself.
Well, you're crippled, so.
First of all,
Yeah, you
right,
have
you
a
have an
car,
excuse. First of all, let me explain how I found you. One night I was I was up at like 3 a.m. on YouTube and I just searched death. That's my life. Anyway, so I'm looking at I don't know, how to die or something, and I saw your video, Dying 101, and I fucking fell down the hole and I watched all of your videos because you have only up like 13 or 20 or something. It's like a low number of
it's a small
videos.
number.
I watched all of them. I became obsessed with you. I started like tweeting you at like 3 a.m. and I was like, this bitch is an inspiration. And I was like going
Yeah,
crazy.
I remember when that happened.
And then since then, I've been trying to get you on the podcast, but like you keep almost dying. I get it. I talked about your videos in my video, and people were like obsessed with it because nobody talks about death and sickness and all this stuff so openly in a way that's like, because I think about death 24/7 and I don't have CF, but it's all I think about. But you, literally, but you like explaining the process of like why you should think about it and why it's normal. Like everybody dies, whether you have CF or not. Like everybody's going to die. I
Yeah.
could die right now.
The day you're born is the day you start to die.
Exactly. I could literally, bye.
Bye.
What did I, oh my God.
Thank you, everyone, for
That was
coming
an
to Shane
accident?
Dawson's service today.
Oh, okay, good. Thank God.
He made it.
Anyways, but your videos are incredible. But the one that really hit me, that I watched twice, was the one about the coma. So take us through this, because I don't think you've seen this. I didn't send you this. So you were talking about being in a coma, which nobody really knows like what that's like, because nobody's really talked about it.
right.
Explain the process, because it's crazy.
It's so weird. It's so fucking weird. What I'll say beforehand is that the year after I got out of it, right, like 14th birthday, I was watching like, Nat Geo or Discovery Channel and falling down the weird hole of like people who have weird diseases and nearly die, like where you just want to feel depressed. So you watch the Discovery Channel. And there's this one woman being like, I had a 1% chance of surviving. I got hit by a car. I was in a coma. And I'm like, wow, that must be so weird. like I have no like, connection to the fact that I went through that because it's just so not what you expect it to be.
Right.
And I think the thing about the coma that's so trippy is the fact that I remember so much of it.
Yeah.
And it's not chill. Like I don't know, am I allowed to talk about drugs? on
Anything.
here?
Yeah,
Literally
girl.
anything.
Okay.
I was a blow queen for a solid 5 years in college.
Sweet. It's the first time I ever did shrooms.
Yes!
With another person.
I love you already so much.
Yeah, no. It's a good story. I'm not going to give the whole details. The first time I ever did shrooms with someone else was a few years after the coma. Hadn't thought about it at all. Like maybe occasionally had a dream or two about like, what it was like.
Oh, did it get ya?
They hit me. I was in the process of making out with a dude.
Oh my God.
And
Oh, making out
all of
on
a
mushrooms. I don't know about that.
No,
Mistake number one.
well, it also started to get gross.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
disgusting.
like
The
weird.
tongue
You're like,
was
I'm eating your face. Yeah, no.
yeah. And the moment it sat in, it was like legitimate like tunnel back into all the flashbacks. And I sat there staring at the wall, not listening to a word he said, having flashbacks of every single moment of the coma for what felt like hours.
Wow.
And it was strangely therapeutic because I had never really let myself dig deep into
go back there.
what happened. But fundamentally, my lungs failed.
Right.
And, normally what you do is you put someone on a ventilator when their lungs failed. But my lungs failed so bad that a ventilator didn't work. Which really breathes for you.
Yeah.
Ventilators keep dead people alive.
Right.
And it didn't work for me. So they had to put me on something called an oscillator, which no one with cystic fibrosis had ever been on one and come off, like, alive. And so when I went on, that was the whole, like, she ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
It's a very good time.
Say your goodbyes. Fuck, that's good.
Yeah, so, but in order to have me on the oscillator and, you know, be able to survive, they had to drug me up, like, hardcore. So I was on fentanyl and, like, there's a whole wall of pumps behind me. And I had, like, 17 IVs of, like, just straight up
Like drugs. Like, that killed Michael Jackson.
Yeah. No, literally. The barbiturates that did that,
Oh my God.
Yeah, for like three
Your little Melky.
And you're so skinny. You got a high tolerance,
Also,
girl.
though, why
Let's
does this sound so relaxing?
I know, right?
I'm like, wow.
No, sometimes it was wonderful. That's another thing. Like, I have memories from the coma where, like, literally the happiest I've ever been in my entire life.
Wow.
Yeah,
Virtual
and
reality.
fentanyl sometimes hits you well.
Because it's kind of like, the way you're explaining the videos, it's kind of like a dream, except the things that are happening in real life. Like, okay, Jess, have you ever fallen asleep while watching like a telenovela
Oh, yeah,
or
and
something?
then it happens, like,
and then in your dream, they're all frogs.
Oh, that's my
but
favorite part of
they're-
dreaming.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
like that.
And so you know that series, the Percy Jackson one with all the gods and the weird things. I was 13, right? So I was
Right.
reading that at the time, as 13-year-olds do.
Right.
And my aunt decided to pick it up, and this is after I was a few days into the coma, and she was reading it to me by my bedside. Had no idea I was seeing a motherfucking centaur, like right across the
my
room,
God.
all the way. Like the scenes were happening, and I couldn't see either. My eyes were
It's
closed.
in your brain. Yeah, weird.
Really, really weird. So I remember a lot from the coma, but it was in weird dips. So like I'd have what felt like a month of being like stranded on a beach in Alaska, just sitting there, staring at the stars, and like doing absolutely nothing. And I didn't register that I was on drugs.
Yeah, that was
I
my
know, which
question.
is always the best way
Did
to do
you
drugs.
realize you were in a coma
No.
while you're in it?
Not until
Like, get me
the
out of
very
here?
end. Not until withdrawals.
Interesting.
Which sucked.
Yeah.
Withdrawals was like the worst ever. But no, for the whole thing, like it was weird lulls of like there'd be times that felt like forever, and then times where things would speed up. And I remember too, what was so trippy is I would talk to people. Like people would come in, be talking to me, and I'd be making conversation. Like, you know, my stepmom was there.
Wow.
And we were like in the woods, like chatting about how like weird my dad is, you know what I mean? And like and that wasn't happening.
Right.
But I was like, I could hear what they were saying, and I thought I was prompting.
Oh my
Or a
God.
part of it.
weird.
Yeah.
That's a move. Why the hell haven't you written a book about
Right?
that?
I am writing a book.
Thank
Good.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
know.
needs to be all sorts of
Because that's a
movies and
teen
shows.
movie if I've ever seen one. A
Yeah.
girl in a coma and she's like, there's a centaur. And that's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
Wow.
weird thing to write about. It's a weird thing to talk about because
Must
the beginning part before I was actually unconscious was really, really, I think, the most intense few hours of my entire life because I had had a regular surgery. I thought everything was fine. It was 2 days later. And I was sitting there and my SAT started dropping, which your SATs are like your oxygen levels. So I'm sitting there and I see it and I'm like an anal freak in the hospital. Like the nurse is like, I literally know everything
Right,
to a T,
and
every
where they should be,
medication,
levels,
how much,
yeah.
where it is. So I watched it. I'm like, the monitor's broken again, right? So I like call in the nurse. She's like, we'll change it. So they changed the monitor, put a new monitor on. I'm still
my God,
dropping.
oh my God.
And so I'm like, that's weird. I don't feel it at all. I'm fine. And then like out of nowhere, I started feeling it. Once my SAT started getting into the 80s and 70s, I was like,
Oh my God.
and it proceeded for 6 hours or so. And my mom showed up. My mom actually had, she wasn't supposed to visit me that day, and she was in the car, and she had this sharp feeling she needed to get to the hospital now.
I believe in that shit.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, there's no.
Yeah.
My mom's also very, very intuitive. She's a witchy woman. But it proceeded for around 6 hours of pretty much me dying. Like I was feeling my lungs collapse. Yeah. I don't
Oh
know.
my God.
Yeah, you want
No,
to talk about death?
keep going.
What does the feeling of lungs
Yeah.
collapsing feel like?
Yeah, what is that?
You just your
You just
CO2
can't
levels
breathe.
go really high. So that was the thing that I first noticed. Your carbon dioxide levels shoot up when your oxygen levels go down.
Interesting.
So you start to get really loopy. So there's all these stories of I started going nuts, like batshit. Someone gave me like this little stuffed animal. I tried to tear the head off of it.
Wow.
Just throwing shit at the doctors. They were trying to put a BiPAP on me, which is like a low grade ventilator, but they had the the respiratory therapist had the humidity up too high, and I couldn't talk. Like I knew I was dying.
Oh my God.
And I couldn't articulate anything. And they put it on and I couldn't breathe because it was just
Too
moisture.
humid, yeah.
And I was trying to like yank it off and they're like, no, you gotta take it. I'm like, and that was, I think kind of when I talk about dying and my experience with dying, it's in that period, even though at that time I didn't completely flatline. That was later, but that's kind of my experience of dying because there was a point where, I was like, this is just a plug. This is just something's weird. Plug is when you have a mucus plug in your lungs that stops oxygen. So I was like, oh, it's just that, not a drug plug. I wanted to specify. And it hit me completely out of nowhere that like, I'm not climbing out of this hole. Like there's nothing that I can do to stop what's happening. And it was really interesting because I talk a lot, now, especially since I do public speaking, I talk a lot about death. I talk a lot about like how to live a life that you're proud of and all of that. And I don't mean it from like a corny inspirational sense. I mean it from I know what it feels like to lose your life and to be losing your life.
Right.
And the thing that you feel is not fear, not terror. It's a deep feeling of grief for a life that you could be living or could be having. And it's not that clear. You know what I mean? It's not like dying isn't that epic. It's not like you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, my whole life.
Yeah, it's flashing before my eyes. Yeah.
So that's bullshit. But what you do feel is just this
a yearning.
This yearning to be alive.
I could have done or didn't do yet.
Yeah.
Or
And just
interesting.
you want to be alive. And that was so shocking to me too, because again, I was 13. Didn't totally want to be alive.
Yeah, right?
You know what I mean? And so it was shocking having that hit me and realize that, I had been waiting pretty much my entire life for someone to give me permission to actually live a life that I was okay with. Because when you're sick, you're told the whole narrative around it is like, wait until you're healthy, and then one day you can have a good life.
Yeah, right? You're like, well, I don't know if that day's coming.
Yeah, that's not coming. Right? And I realized...
Shit's terminal.
Yeah, exactly. And I realized while that was going on that there's absolutely nothing that's going to save me. I'm not getting out of this circumstance. I have a shit body, and it's failing on me, and it fails on me all the time. It just did like a month ago. And I have to work my ass off every single day to be able to get up out of bed and walk around. And like, not in a dramatic sense, like literally.
What's the process? I remember, because I've been fascinated with CF forever. Like when I was a kid, we watched in school, there was like not a PSA, it was like a kind of a cheesy, like sitcom-y thing about a boy who had it. And it took us through, it took us through the process of like what it was and his morning routine. And so is that real where you have to like cough up a bunch of every single day? Take us through that. Like,
okay, yeah, so it's trippy.
Me.
not cigarettes, but yes.
So you know what's fucked up is I was thinking the other day, I was like, how you have moments sometimes where you just zone out, and like I was watching someone smoke. Yeah. No, I was watching someone smoke and I thought, damn, that looks so fun. I was like, that's disgusting. I was like, if I had healthy lungs, I probably would be a smoker, which is
It's okay, girl, you still sound like one with that.
You're good.
I had to work hard on this raspy
I have
voice.
this plan for like the last month that I'm alive when I know, the bucket's gonna get kicked hard.
Right.
I'm just gonna do everything under the sun.
Good for you.
That's the book. That's the movie.
Yeah.
Claire and her drug escapade.
So you have to cough up a lot of shit.
I was like, where are we?
Sorry, my bad. Girl. I get sidetracked.
Yeah, I do too. I'm the worst. So treatments with cystic fibrosis, the hardest part about CF is not the whole like terminal thing. It's the fact that it takes literally 2 to 3 hours and then 4 to 5 hours if you're sick of heavy breathing treatments every single day, which means you have to put on this vest and it inflates and it shakes the shit out of you and pops your ribs out. And hurts, especially like when you're a preteen and you're like growing boobs and you have to put this like vest that squeezes you. And you have to do that for around 2 to 3 hours every day. I'm on around like 50 medications. Wow. Shots every night. I do a feeding tube every night, which is literally me hooking up. You're going to love this.
Yeah.
Me hooking up to straight up fats every single night into my stomach.
Like ranch?
No.
Just pouring ranch.
Just hooked up to the Hidden Valley. Just squeeze.
No, I wish it was like
Wow.
that. They're called Nutrin, and they're like these super high protein, high fat, like shakes that
Okay.
taste like acid.
Right.
It tastes like puked up vanilla milkshake. Like if you were to drink
Wait,
like
where does it go?
In and out. I have a G-tube. See?
Yeah, wait, what does that mean?
Are we
It's
allowed
this.
to see it? Ooh.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're like a water bottle.
Yeah.
You are.
No. And okay, so another fun story before I'm going to get all off track. This thing pops out
Uh-oh.
occasionally.
So do you leak?
Yeah, no. It's horrific. So I have a massive hole in my stomach, right? So sometimes when I was
I'm gonna
little,
need to see that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need to go over there to see it. Yes, but keep
Call him
going.
next
you can
time
touch
it
it.
pops
You can
out.
fiddle it.
Really?
Yeah, you can spin it.
Ooh, it's like a fidget spinner.
Leaving my chair.
Yes,
Guys, go to fullscreen.com.
if you want to see Shane fidget spin her feeding tube.
Yeah, come.
Wow. Ooh. It looks like also like the opening to an air float, like when you blow up
Yeah, like if I
an
just-
inner tube.
Wait,
I would deflate.
you
Yeah.
take the lead first. I don't want to hurt you.
Ooh,
Oh my God.
she's
You're
twirling.
literally
Yeah,
a fidget
you know
spinner.
it's getting hot and heavy up in here.
Yeah, you two.
Oh my
Make
God.
out, make out.
Yeah.
What does that feel like?
Nothing at this point. I'm like,
Really?
yeah.
Is it
well,
like
I have.
deadened, like the
Well, see,
nerves
it's like
or
all
something?
red and stuff. It's because it leaks. It burns so bad. It's like stomach acid on the
Ooh,
blisters.
fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
How long have you had that for?
Since I was little.
Oh, you've had-
like 4 or 5.
So wait,
yeah.
is that different than the thing that people have, like a poop bag? That's like a different thing.
Yeah, yeah. This is stuff in. So that's stuff out.
Right.
This is stuff in. So I pretty much just have to hook up to these feeds every single night, which is literally the thing that I'm the worst at doing.
Wait, why can't you just drink it?
Because it tastes disgusting, and because you have to have around 4,000 to 5,000 calories in a day with CF. So my days are spent shoveling my face with food, and then at night I
That's
have
a
to on
video.
top of it. Yeah. 5,000 calorie challenge.
The
Mukbang.
CF shuffle.
Yeah, right? So yeah, no, I actually thought about doing a mukbang, but I feel like it wouldn't be interesting to anyone.
Yes,
It'd
it
be
would.
like,
If it's you literally like going ham, just like going crazy eating food, and then hooking up a vanilla milkshake to your stomach.
I would do it at the same time.
Yeah, right? Oh, that'd be great.
No, yeah, get it, girl.
Yeah, get it out. But that's really interesting that how it has to like hook up and get in there, and how it's just like concentrated.
Yeah.
You know, to like zoop. You know, it's not like it's baby food. It's not, you
Right.
know, like.
Well, also, like I weigh 96 pounds, and that's on me trying to eat that much every single day. I weigh 96.
Goals.
So, well, sort of, but also it's like it's also horrible because you have there's this like you're constantly trying to gain weight,
Right.
and I mean the amount of times that people have thought that I've been anorexic in my life because it looks you get so skinny. I mean, if I was to like have a week where I was like, I don't know, I'm not in the mood for food, you know, like
Right.
like, yeah, like
So you're literally eating like what kind of food are you eating?
I mean, I try and be healthy, but I have so my best friend is an immaculate cook. Like, I mean, like you should invite her over to your house
Yeah.
to cook you
Okay.
meat.
Okay.
No, genuinely, like
All right.
100%, because she is one of the best cooks. I don't know how I got so lucky to like have her hang around me all the time, but she literally will come and like make me 3-course meals for the day, and so pretty much I eat, you know, The Rock. The Rock
Yes,
diet?
I smell what he's cooking.
Yeah, except
Yes.
that with like tons of seasoning and salt, because cystic fibrosis you have low sodium, and so I need to like chug soy sauce kind of
Right.
that kind of sodium.
Ooh.
So it's pretty much just proteins, fats, carbs. Try to stay away from sugar because I also have CF related diabetes, but like I think I'm
gosh.
just talking about my medical condition.
Wow.
But yeah. So it's pretty gnarly. But the thing is, like, there are times where you have to eat junk food. Like, you literally cannot get enough calories if you don't eat, like,
A Pop Tart.
if you don't, yeah.
Because I got
Exactly.
240 per tart.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, okay. So another question that was interesting. I don't know if you ever talked about this. I don't remember you talking about this in your videos, but so the afterlife. So when you died the first time or you got near it,
Yeah.
did you experience anything?
No. And I hate it. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, sure, maybe like I didn't like go all the way, but like,
Right.
no, have not met Jesus. there was no white tunnel. The time that I actually flatlined, though, I was also drugged up. So what happened is they had to bring me down to get this procedure while I was unconscious. So they had to move the oscillator into the elevator, and it happened that a tear in the cord like opened up while they were stuck in an elevator with me. So the oscillator stopped working while I was stuck on the elevator, and I couldn't change the tube. So that's when I flatlined, and I was kind of too drugged up to remember it even. So no, I've never had any afterlife experience, nothing like that. I think.
But your coma experience was like, I
coma
feel like an
experience
afterlife
it is
experience in a way, you know?
You know what I think it is that it's like a defense mechanism. Because I think life, evolution, right? If evolution's like a person and a super smart person, knows that like being alive is so shitty. That like when you're, like on a certain level, it is shitty. And like when you are dying, it has to like encourage you to want to keep living. You know, so it has to be like, look at how beautiful life is. It's so amazing. You know, so you're like, yeah, okay. So your brain, I think, makes, because that is what I remember, is I was actually genuinely happy a lot while I was super, super sick. And in the times when I was like unconscious and near dying, I was actually very content. And I think that's because your brain knows it kind of needs to be like, life's great. Come back to me.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I don't think, the thing is, I don't not believe in it. I was kind of, I was raised, my grandmother's Nichiren Buddhist, and so there's a lot of kind of Buddhist beliefs on dying in my house growing up. And, you know, I think that there's a level of consciousness that permeates, you know what I mean? I think there's a level of, you know, yeah, we're individual beings, you know what I mean, who are pretty much just like weird fucking chemicals zapping around in our brain, and that's what makes us who we are, that's what makes us feel happy, that's what makes us feel sad, is something that's so out of our control, like no one has any say on their brains. But I think there is a level of consciousness that permeates just being in your body and where you are now. Like I think that there's a kind of consciousness that exists just amongst the universe as like a wisdom almost, you know, but I not had any experience with it. And I'm actually happy I haven't, because if I knew, you know, if I knew like what was going on, I don't know if I'd like
have that zest for life.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You kind of have to
perspective.
fear dying.
Yeah.
So so take us through the future. And so you did a video about life expectancy. So for CF, for people who don't really know, how does that work? You said it gets worse as you get older.
So it's hard. It's really hard to talk about this, not like because I have a problem with it, just because it's so dependent on your own involvement in your care, whether or not you survive, which is such a horrible thing to put on kids. You know what I mean? Like I remember I love my dad, and you know, he's a fantastic father, and you know, all that, not shit talking. But it was constantly being like yelled at me to do treatments and yelled at me to like, you know, grow up and do them and do better. And every time you get admitted into the hospital, it's your fault and you're not doing it right. You didn't do your feeds enough. You didn't, you know what I mean?
Oy.
So you get to a point where,
pressure.
it's a lot. And so you get to a point where you're a teenager and you've been doing everything for 16 fucking years, you know, or like in my case, 20 years. And you just get hit with this like, this wave of like, it's just, I'm just going to be doing more treatments as I get older. It's not like I'm doing all this work and then one day I'm not going to have to do treatments anymore. It's going to keep going until I die. So there's always a part of you that's like, fuck this. Like,
I'm over it.
I don't want to do my best. And that's a gnarly thing to have to deal with. The fact that you can't step up to the plane enough and take care of yourself enough in order to survive long enough. And you know that there's a level of it that's on your shoulders. And that's a huge burden that I don't think is talked about enough in the CF world, because it's so hard to expect that of anyone. You know what I mean? Like if you had to brush your teeth for 3 hours a day,
Nope.
Yeah, or else your teeth would fall out, and no one would do it. We'd come up with some like teeth invention so that no one could. You just have your teeth pulled when you're a kid. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one wants to do that much work to be alive. So life expectancy for me right now is shaky. And the story I was going to tell you before this started was last time I was supposed to be on the show, I got super sick. I was at home, I had an infection. I was like, I can deal with it at home. I have like my own pharmacy at home of like stockpiled medications, you know, so I'll take this antibiotic. And I just desatted again one night. And was on my BiPAP and like, you know, I had my sat monitor on. And I started desatting again, and I was like, not again. And it was literally as I was losing it and like exhausted and fading, my thought was like, fuck, the Shane Dawson podcast. I was like, this is because it was like the sixth time. It's like the fifth time.
No, girl, you get a free pass.
Yeah, no,
every
of
time
course.
you get a free pass.
But like, it's funny how many times that kind of stuff has happened where it's not just like I get a little sick, it's like I get super sick really fast.
Right.
And it always happens around big life
When
things.
something's going on.
Yeah, which is like maybe my weird subconscious like desire to not live or like not like be a
Right.
part of the world, you know? But like, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it always seems to happen. You always like die at the worst possible time.
That's what I say every day. I mean,
Yeah, like you never die when you want to, you know?
well, that's just interesting because if you brought up like Buddhist too, I feel like that's such a thing where you think you have control, but you don't have control of the universe.
Yeah.
And just like that, some, you know,
Yeah, no, you don't.
shit can happen.
Well, Claire,
but you're here now.
Listen.
So that's good.
I know you're probably sick of hearing this, but you are literally fucking incredible.
You're awesome.
You're
Thank you.
first of all, you're the coolest person ever. But also, like, I don't know. I've had a really. It's so funny for me to say this, like, but I've had a really weird, rough, like, few months with just like a lot of like, what's the point, whatever. And I really needed this conversation, and you are just like a life changer, and I just love you so much.
Thank you.
And everybody, please go to her new YouTube channel. Fuck the old one. Go to this one.
Fuck it.
Search Claire Wineland. And
Donate to the Claire Project.
Claire's Place Foundation.
Place
Claire's
Foundation.
Place Foundation.
Yeah. Family
And
some
please,
extra
please,
moolah.
please come back literally anytime. Keep us posted on everything. If you think you're dying, which I hope you don't,
Call you?
Call me,
Yeah.
text me,
Yeah.
please snap me. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be there.
I'll give you my thoughts as it goes along.
There you go.
Oh my God. Tell me what you
Live
see.
stream it.
Yeah,
Live stream it.
yeah.
No, I love you so much. And guys, we're going to take a short little pee break. When we come back, Allie and AJ are here. This is probably the best show of the entire lifetime of this show. Drew, give us a pee song.
Na na, time to pee. Na na na, pee with me, please.
I just pissed my pants.
Perfect.
Yeah.
See you guys in a second. Guys,
What?
I don't know about you, but I'm hungry.
Oh, I'm starving.
When are we not? Thank God we have Nature Box. Now, listen. I could go on and on and on about snacks, especially Nature Box snacks, because they're so good. They have over 100 different types. And you can eat them and feel good about yourself. And you know that's hard for me.
That's hard for everybody, I think.
Now, some of the snacks that they have, I mean, they have cookies and bars. They have different types of cookies and bars. They have peanut butter nom noms. They have lemon almond biscotti bites. They have crispy snickerdoodles. And the thing about these snacks is they are all free of like artificial ingredients and, you know, artificial colors and weird sweeteners. Like they're natural and they're really, really good. So if you guys want to try Nature Box, go to naturebox.com/Shane. And they're going to be offering you 50% off of your first order.
Woo, hot damn.
Whee! And I don't know what that was. But if you guys get the snacks, which you should because it's really, really good, take a picture of you eating it and send it to us. And maybe we'll show you eating your Nature Box on our show.
Hey.
Do hashtag Shane Nature Box. Why not? Guys, go to naturebox.com/Shane and you will get 50% off your first order. Enjoy the rest of the show. Guys! I'm sorry. I'm making up for the fact that Drew has food poisoning. He had to leave the show, so I'm trying to do my own
I know.
song. It's
I'm
not
like,
working.
I can do Rugrats theme song on the
Anyways,
piano.
guys, Allie and AJ are in the building! Guys, this is so crazy. I haven't had this reaction since I met Hillary Duff, and
Wow.
this might be bigger because there's two of you.
Okay, okay. So it's Hillary Duff times
It's
two.
like Hillary and Haley, but not.
But not.
Thank you
Oh
for
my
having
God.
us.
Hi.
Hi.
I am just going to say, let me just start off. I have a lot of thoughts.
Okay.
Let me just start off by saying that Insomniatic is one of the most underrated albums of all time. And by the way,
Wow.
I love Like Whoa. I'm going to go real deep in this, Jess.
Do it. Dive in,
Go so
babe. Put
deep.
on your swim goggles.
I'm going to go really deep. My problem is, and I'm sure this isn't your guys' fault, the single selection was off. Division is one of the best pop songs ever written. Division's incredible. The fact that that shit wasn't a single made me angry.
I do love that
I think
song.
Division's strong, yeah.
I do love that song.
Around graduation
like
time?
Low, I can't get in on that with you.
You like it or don't like it?
We
I
don't.
don't like it.
Oh, okay. I was lying.
Oh, you don't like
Can
it?
I keep it real? It's the one song I skip.
Oh, it
Okay, that's
sucks.
fine. Good, I'm glad.
Oh, Shane, I love
Because
this.
let's
You're-
keep it real. Sip the tea.
Oh, sip that tea.
Literally in the car today
Because that song,
hurts.
look, we wrote it. So it's like
Right.
we were going through that at that moment and we thought that was cool. But now
Right.
that you look back on it, it's like, no.
It's like, whoa.
literally like
Yeah.
it's
Like,
like
whoa,
it's
look
like
at
woof.
that. Yeah.
In my car when I was going through, and this is not me lying, because like I am very honest. I literally listen to that album at least once a month for literally the last 10 years. So I know all the songs. I love all the songs. But like, Whoa is the one I skip. And I think it's because it
rightfully
doesn't
so.
fit
It
the
doesn't
album.
fit. It doesn't fit the rest. I
It
agree.
feels like something that, and no shade, I love her, but it feels like something Raven Simone would have released. Like, it feels like a different Disney.
Yeah.
I totally get
I get
that.
It's the
Yeah.
wrong vibe.
Wrong vibe.
But the vibe of Division, I'm just going to bring it back to Division for a second. If you guys would have released that during graduation season, that would have been the next As We Go On.
Actually, you're right.
Graduated. And the music video is a bunch of sad teenagers crying. I had it in my head. I was like, they need to call me.
right.
Actually, you're right.
right.
You were right.
This year.
Well, maybe we resurrect this song.
This year.
You know,
Yes.
on tour, and we fucking
Throw a
sing the
couple-
song on tour.
Throw a couple of those in it.
Done.
Update it.
Yeah, right. Just like a little remix.
A little EDM in there.
I honestly, that means a lot because that song really kind of flew under the radar.
That
Really, the
song's-
whole record did.
That whole record is incredible. I got every
Thank
single
you.
person in my life onto it because it came out around 2005.
No, it was 10. It's exactly 10 years ago. This
2007.
It was 2007.
2007. Is that
Wow.
crazy?
Interesting. So I had just graduated. Yeah, and when that came out, I got everybody, my mom, I got everybody. Those are my friends.
I got
I
everything.
got my mom
My
into
mom,
it. I
my
got my
dad.
grandma into it. No, because it was genuinely, literally like one of the best pop albums of all time. And I feel like, but when you bring it up to people, they know. Like everybody in my circle now, my sad circle, we all know.
That's very sweet.
really
We
nice.
highly regret the cover of that record.
But very cutting edge because Solar Eclipse, guys. That cover was on
We were
point.
way ahead of ourselves.
We were so ahead. We were like, we know exactly when this is going to matter.
Yeah.
It's going to be during the Solar Eclipse 2017.
Yeah,
so
so
the
true.
cover's going to come back.
So true.
Well, really quick, we'll get to this again later because I want to talk more about it. But the new single, Take Me, out now. Guys, go get it. I've listened to it 500 million times. It keeps getting more and more views every day on YouTube because I've been checking.
Oh,
and like
oh, yeah.
every day it's getting more and more views. People are really like,
We're kind
into
of
this
blown
song.
away by it.
We're surprised.
To be honest,
We're a little
yeah.
surprised.
I'm not blown away because when people tell me like, oh, did you hear Allie and AJ are back? And I saw it like on BuzzFeed and all this stuff. I was like, about damn time.
I know.
It's
took a while.
about damn time.
Time.
But now back to Insomniatic. Okay. But when
Which
you
is
look-
not a real word,
when
by
you
the
look-
way. We
It's
made
not.
that up.
We made it up.
Great.
Yeah,
And
for
it's in
those
the
of you
Urban Dictionary
wondering.
now.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, just really proud about that, guys.
What do you look back and look at old music videos or old songs and just be like, wow, that was amazing, or like, oh
Why?
fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only one that we look back at that we are not completely embarrassed by is Chemicals React. I think that's actually a great video.
That's
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
Rosh, I'm so confused why we're in Hawaii and why we're busking
Why?
on the street. We didn't even know what
Right.
busking was. They had to like explain it to us on set.
What's
I was like, what is
busking?
that?
It's like when you
It's like when you're like
you're
playing,
playing
for
for
like
money.
money.
You're
Yeah.
selling yourself.
What'd you think it was?
I love the idea of Allie and AJ
I
playing
know.
for money on a
it was
street
just, It was
corner.
just weird. It was all kinds of weird.
But in
and
Oahu.
it gave it gave the I think it gave the director and like some of the executives at Hollywood Records an excuse to come to Hawaii. So they're like, yeah, let's shoot the video in Hawaii.
I'd do that shit.
Didn't
I'd be like, where
really
do I
make
want to
any
go?
sense.
We're going to Italy.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go.
I mean,
We
we
really
had
think it
fun.
should be
We had
shot
fun
around.
shooting
Yeah.
it, but yeah, I mean, potential. It's funny. We had like a totally different.
I think Potential Breakup song's okay.
Oh my God,
Yeah, it's fine.
such a
Yeah, it's
fucking
okay.
good song.
But like,
I
why,
do like
but
the
why are we
song,
DJing?
but the video,
like, why? Are we, why are we in a white room?
Why? My biggest thing is why during the bridge are we on a human turntable spinning?
I don't know.
We're spinning at one
Because
point.
you guys are the music.
That's very sweet. So we're
the
spinning.
first time the first time I heard Potential Breakup Song was when you guys were singing on Live with Kelly. She didn't have a co-host at the time, I believe.
Oh, she didn't.
Wow, it was
that
she was
old
in limbo.
school.
She was in limbo.
Isn't that crazy that I
Yeah.
remember? This is so weird. I remember that exact moment. I was in my living room.
I remember the outfit I wore on that.
Me too.
I probably could draw it. I remember it's a
Probably could
weird
draw it.
memory. Like I was like trying to lose weight, so I was like running in place in my living room.
Running in place. Any treadmill
Running in
or just
place.
running in place?
Just in
He's
place.
moving.
Okay,
Just
okay.
Chinese. Just
I
not
like it.
biometric.
En natural.
Yes, and then I was watching Live Kelly, and then you guys sang that song, and I was just like, "This is the bop." That wasn't even a word back then.
Bop?
It
Is that a
was.
thing?
No,
right
it was
now?
not.
It was.
It is a thing right now,
I've
but
been
it
I've seen
wasn't.
people like, this is a bop. And I'm
Yes,
like, wait
but-
a second.
By the way, Age and I didn't even really know what that was.
I didn't
we're,
know until
We're not
today.
even aware of our own generation and what's going on.
I didn't know
like,
what
I was like,
Stan
what's
was.
Stan? What's
What's
bop?
Stan?
I stand your
Wow.
bops.
Yeah, like it's like I know.
Stan?
She's
Yeah,
like,
Stan.
what?
Stan is basically okay.
Well,
so
isn't it
did
from
Eminem start
Eminem?
it?
Did you just say Feminem?
No, from
Because
isn't
that's,
that
that's my
from
rapper name.
Eminem? No, isn't that from
Dear
Eminem?
Stan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Eminem
Like the
had a
song.
song about a really intense
Yeah.
stalker fan
Well,
that
but
he
I
named
Stan.
Stan. I don't know if
Yeah.
the guy's name was Stan. Maybe he called him Stan, stalker
his-
fan.
his name was
His name
Stan.
was Stan.
I think
Yes,
so,
Stan.
yeah.
Oh well,
So
there
that-
you go.
yeah.
So it started really with Eminem.
So it's like anybody
Like
who like
a decade
hardcore,
ago.
anybody
Like a
who like
decade ago.
hardcore reps, you know,
Right.
a movie, a song,
person.
Oh, like
an
Stan
artist.
the fangirl
Yeah.
is now the new
They're
Stan.
called
Exactly.
Got it. Stan
They're called-
girling.
Yeah,
Right.
basically,
Okay.
like I stand
Yeah.
with you.
Got
like I'm
it.
a fan stalker.
Interesting.
Right.
Right?
I have, okay, we're going to take it even farther back.
Shane's
for a
like,
second.
yeah, I know what that means.
I didn't.
I'm
Maybe
that.
I started it.
I'm a stalker. Hi. We're going to take it even farther back. Let's talk about Phil of the Future for a second. Don't even. That show was a bop. I don't know what
Okay,
show.
but hold on, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Phil the Future was not as good as Even Stevens. Even Stevens was the best
It
show.
wasn't.
And then I would say, maybe I'd say Lizzie McGuire and then
And then Phil. I agree.
I understand what you're saying, but there was something very weirdly like rewatchable about Phil of the Future. I don't know what it was. Even Stevens, I loved it, but I didn't really rewatch the episode.
Okay,
Phil of the
gotcha.
Future, they would replay it every single Saturday morning. It was always kind of the same episode, and I would always still watch it, and I loved it. But like, what was that experience? My number one question is something that was a myth when I was younger. Was that the boy, Ricky?
Raviv, yeah.
Raviv, Ricky.
Well,
Raviv.
Ricky was his
His
stage
birth
name.
name is Raviv.
But his birth name is Raviv.
I love that.
Yeah.
I know.
Raviv.
Yeah, Raviv.
There was like a myth going around school that he was actually like 30 something when that show was being made. Is that true?
No, that's
but he was
funny,
older.
though. He was
He
older.
was.
He was 3 years older than me. So when I booked that show, I was 13. But by the time that we started shooting, I was 14.
Okay.
So
He was 42, actually.
Yeah.
They just told us.
So he
would
was.
love that.
So he was. That would be incredible. So he was like 17 when we started the show, and then I mean, and 3 years in that time
Oh, it's
frame
huge.
seems
Huge.
huge. You know, like
Yeah.
3 years now is nothing.
But I would think he was older. I definitely, there is something about him. Like, he kind of was like a man child a little
Yeah.
bit on the show. Like, I would have
Yeah.
thought he was
Yeah.
an older dude.
Yeah. I mean, he like
Yeah.
had to shave his beard and
Yeah.
stuff. Like.
Myth busted.
Yeah.
Sorry, Raviv. Shot you on accident. But okay, I need to understand the Disney situation.
Yeah.
You were on Phil of the Future. Were you on a Disney show?
No,
Or you were just more
no.
on Disney
People
movies?
are so
No.
confused by this, and it's
We
very
never had a
odd.
show. You can hear it here first.
Yeah.
We never had
Never
a
had
show.
a TV show together on
Right.
the channel. Everybody says, "Oh yeah, you're in that Alan Aegis show." I'm like, "No, that's
No.
our band."
Didn't exist.
We never had a show together.
We did one thing together for the Disney Channel, which was Cowbells.
Yes.
and literally will probably be on our tombstone,
It
like
will
the
be.
girl in Cowbells.
The girl from Cowbells.
Right.
Yeah. Is there a sequel? That will be
Yeah,
on the
that'll
tombstone.
be on
That
it
will
as
the
well.
tombstone.
But is there?
Yeah, right?
No, but
No.
really though.
So that was really the thing we did together, and then our music videos were always on. So I think
Yes.
people just create in their minds that we had a show together.
Right.
But I never even appeared on Phil the Future. Wow. I mean,
Rude.
No.
Rude.
Rude.
I was
And then
never
I
on.
did one other Disney Channel original movie that was
About
like a
magic.
magic movie or whatever.
Oh, don't tell me. I remember the commercial. Oh, fuck, what was it called?
Now you see it.
Now you see.
Actually, I like to think it's where they created Now You See Me, the movie.
Right.
That's a good point.
Did you
where
guys
they
ever
came
have
up
to
with
do that, the like
Yes,
Disney
yes.
wand
She did.
stuff
I
from
was
the
a little,
commercial?
She got to.
I was a little mad that I wasn't in those.
The compilation.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh! By the way, I just watched those like maybe 3 months ago, and they made me really sad. I was like, "This is depressing."
It's really
now.
depressing.
I actually didn't have a bad experience doing it. I'm super professional, and
Wait,
I
what is this
understood.
video?
Adrian doesn't even know. What
It's
this
like,
is.
it was a commercial for the
You know,
Disney
when you-
Channel
when you
with
do
the
the-
wand.
Yeah,
The ears.
but what's this
So it's
compilation?
showing like all of the Disney Channel stars doing it and like fucking up doing
Outtakes.
it. And then
Oh,
it shows
shit
like
like
Hilary
that.
Duff doing it, and she's obviously
Miserable.
having a miserable time. Poor
Because
thing.
they're getting you when you're
and
exhausted.
she's, you know,
it's a
probably
promo.
shooting on a Saturday or
Right.
something. It's like this should be her day off. She's been shooting, 10 hours a day during the week. So she just looked like she was just
Done.
over
Right.
it. And she wasn't really, it's like, it's not that hard to do. They trace
Yeah.
it for you. It's like, come on. I mean,
Follow the
no
lines,
offense to
guys.
Hillary, but there's literally a green Mickey Mouse thing that they have there for
a
you.
laser
It looked like she was
situation.
just like free-forming it. But anyways, but they have like a little, it's like green, so it's like a green screen. So
Okay.
you just follow the green screen. But
I never got to
I
do
ended
it.
up having fun
Somebody's on the
because
show.
it was really cool at that moment in time to be on the channel because I was watching it.
Oh, yeah.
I was 14, and I was really excited because I wore blue eyeshadow when I did that
Yeah, you
whole
did.
press thing.
Yeah, you did.
And I thought I was just the shit. And
So
then I
edgy.
remember having like a
edgy.
limo that drove me to the
Oh, I remember because I was the sister
set?
that wasn't on Disney Channel at
Right.
the time, and I was going, this bitch is getting driven
Exactly.
limo.
to do a stencil
And-
of Mickey.
Exactly.
And I'm not.
And
I
guys,
felt bad.
guess what? After that shoot, did a drive-through through Burger King with the limo.
Good for you.
I remember you doing
And
that.
I thought I was hot shit. Like, not in a bad way, just in a like, a, this is really cool way.
No, almost
you
a bad
were,
way.
though.
Allie almost got an attitude. Like, she was on the verge, but she
I
never
could see
did.
that.
I'm the darker sister between the two.
See,
So
I-
dark. She loved fairy books when she was younger and, like, witchcrafty books.
See, I like that because like you have kind of like a scary vibe.
Do I?
Like I would never cross you. When the chemicals react, bitch, it's an explosion.
Explosion. Although, you know what? AJ is the more like outgoing, probably give people a little bit more of a chance to prove themselves to her type. But man, when she is mad at you, she is like a snake.
Done.
I will cut you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like the snake video Taylor just posted.
Yes. Ooh, yeah, that's what she
Slytherin.
is. Yeah.
Slytherin.
Okay, so the reason I asked about the Disney thing was more because it was a weird because you guys were real music. You guys are real musicians. So and there was like a couple people on Disney Channel who
Yes, but not many. You're like,
No.
honestly, but
No.
well, look,
Couple.
no, Miley, she's talented.
She's genuinely
Demi.
talented.
and Demi, and then Jess McCartney. That was really it. As in label mates
God,
that
yeah.
like we thought, oh, they're talented. Like they do write
They
their own
sang.
music. They do sing.
I'm sorry, Corey in the house.
Corey in the house.
I love Corey.
He can rap.
He is sweet.
He's so sweet. Kyle Massey.
Yeah,
Kyle
Kyle
Massey.
Was he?
He's so
Was he?
sweet.
He wasn't signed. Was he?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
They
He
didn't,
had an
sign, they
underground
didn't
deal?
sign every single person
There
ever.
there was a couple weird ones, but then it's fun to make fun of it because they later on in life make fun of it. Like who
Yeah,
did we have on?
totally.
We had on
We all
somebody-
do it.
Elise Vanderpool.
Yeah, she made. Well, she's actually a really good singer, but
Yeah.
she made fun of the whole Disney singing thing. But the thing is,
Sprouse twins. They didn't do it. They were like anti. Like we're not
Yeah, they
singing.
didn't do it.
We don't do this, which
was
is
good,
actually
though.
pretty cool.
but you guys got stuck in that like weird circle where they made you like sing with all of them,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Well, I did that.
Again,
the circle
I wasn't
of life.
invited to that.
You know, it was like I was not in that.
Circle of Life. I'll never
love
forget.
this
No,
shit.
it was no.
Yeah,
I'm
Circle
sorry.
of Life.
It wasn't
I'll never
Circle of
forget.
Life.
I wasn't in it.
It was A Dream Is a Wish Your Heart Makes. Which, by the way, just to make it
That's
harder,
Disney.
that's one of AJ's favorite childhood songs. She used to sing all the time. She
it
loves
now.
Cinderella.
And they didn't let me
Okay,
join.
Here's your moment.
They were like, we don't care about this kid. Like, she's not on the Disney Channel. And then I was in Cowbells, and all of a sudden it mattered.
Wait, did Allie and AJ? When did Allie and AJ like?
Well,
It happened after that, like right after.
It
I
happened
feel
right
like.
after. It happened. We got signed when I think were we 14 and 12? That doesn't make sense. I think 15 and 13.
13 and 15 we got signed.
And then we made the record and it came out when we were 16 and 14.
Okay.
So it came out like a couple years after I'd already been on Phil.
Yeah.
But like Allie and AJ as in a duo, like we already had that, you know, as a band together before I got cast on the show.
But they still
didn't know
But we
that.
have like old school scary demos that are like of AJ and I that are just
Release them.
I mean, you want some
kinda want you to hear
hardcore
them.
OG shit? Like
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can maybe just
Okay, thank you.
slip
I
that to you.
got some song titles for you right now. It's a Girl Thing.
Yes.
Dance with Me.
Hold
Yes.
on. Hip Hop Love.
Yes. And what was the other one?
You need to release all of these.
A ballad.
If I could
If you could only be here.
If you could only be
If you
here.
could only be here. That was our ballad. That was our EP, guys, when we were like 12.
Yeah.
You need
Yeah.
to re-release it.
No,
Yeah.
we do.
Please.
And like a special
And we
edition.
had like lime green
We do.
bandanas around our heads
Hell yeah.
with like little crop tops.
The
It was-
scrunchy crop tops that change
That.
depending on your
But
size.
even though the first album came out kind of post Disney, I still remember Disney milking the shit out of it. Like,
Yeah,
they
for
still
sure.
They did.
turned it into a Disney
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
kind of, right?
yeah.
Yeah, they did.
What did that feel like to be like genuine talented musicians who are like, I'm very, very serious,
Mm.
but then everybody's like, go on tour with fucking
Right.
the girl from Lizzie, or like,
Yeah,
what's
Cheetah Girls, yeah.
Cheetah.
That was not good. Yeah. Well,
No, not our proudest moment.
yeah. It was hard because I think, like you said, we were real musicians. I mean, you know, we were still young. We were 13 and 15. And
Yeah, we weren't looking at it like,
we're
we're
like,
great
we're the
and
best
we're like
ever.
with people
But we
that
did
aren't. It
take like
wasn't
our
like
art
that.
very seriously
Yeah.
for being that young, and we were really proud of the fact that we did write all of our own music,
Wow.
and we did play instruments. So that on top of, you know, not to bring up the feminist thing, but like being a woman made it hard, and it made it really difficult for us because we would constantly come in and bring songs into the label. And I'm not going to name names, but there was a couple people over there that specifically always questioned whether we wrote the song. Did we write it with someone else? Like, we should change this lyric. I was like, you would never be saying this to, like, sorry, but a man.
Yeah.
And probably someone who's also older. Like, if I was
Right.
25 and a dude, this conversation would not be happening.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's not cool. So that was
Yeah.
really hard for us.
Yeah, we didn't really have the full respect that I think we deserved
Yeah.
at the time.
What was the tours like? Because you guys did like mall tours, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they start
Did
you
we
out
ever
with
do
that?
a mall tour?
I don't know if we
Or
did
like
official.
Six Flags. I
We
remember
did all that.
I remember being at
me
Six
and AJ have been on
Flags.
so many Six Flags and survived so many rides that we should have probably died on.
Yeah. No, some
my
rides that
gosh.
actually like stalled for
Yeah.
an hour.
Oh, yeah.
2 hours.
Totally.
What?
We were
Upside
like be on
down.
it. We'd be like, cool, we're on this, and we have to play the show in an hour and a half.
Yes.
Yeah.
No way. You
Oh, yeah.
you
Because it actually
got
happens
stuck?
a lot more than you think. Yeah. Upside down in one.
Like, whoa.
Can't you like die from that if you're upside
Yes.
down for too long?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Rush of blood to the head, it's
Oh,
called.
fuck that.
Yeah,
Rush the
exactly.
blood to the head. It's
What was that like? Like, what was it like performing so at the amusement park, was it people who paid to see you, or was it just people at the amusement park who's like a concert?
Well,
No, I think the first thing.
I don't think you could like come and see the show if you didn't buy.
No,
tickets,
because
right?
it was a closed off amphitheater. So it wasn't like you could just like, I'm getting on
at
a
the
ride,
food
but then
court.
they're
Yeah,
here
right,
and I can
right.
see it. It's like you had to
It
actually
was
buy
like
a ticket.
big enough for like what 5 to like 8,000 people.
my
usually.
God, all right, that's
Were
a
yeah,
lot.
because
Yeah.
they have like those shows there, like with the animals and shit like
Yes,
that,
yes,
or like
exactly.
that
Exactly.
kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a separate event. It's not. It's not like, hey, you're on a ride. Come listen to us. It's
Right.
like I think you'd have to purchase.
But we
a
would
separate-
always ride rides like multiple times, either
With the
like
band.
after our sound check or something. I mean, to the point where like now I never need to be on one of those rides
hate
again.
I really don't want
They
to
make
go
me
on them
sick.
either.
I hate them.
What
I
was
have
it
no
like?
desire.
What was
Zero.
it like being? Because a lot of these Disney kids now, I feel, not that I know any of the shows that are on now, but I feel like they're older playing younger. But like when you're younger playing your same age, and
Yeah.
all of your friend group watches you, like what is that mind fuck? And then, like being famous musicians at such a young age, and then all your friends are just like, "Oh my god, you're famous!" Like, is that just such a weird like?
Kind of weird.
A little bit,
Yeah.
but also a lot of our friends were in the business,
Most of
so
them
like
were in
it
the
wasn't
industry.
it wasn't that odd because we weren't kids that were like in a regular school.
Oh, okay.
And doing
Yeah.
that on the side, we happened to be homeschooled during that time, so we made ourselves even weirder and stranger and more secluded. No, but it was fine because we had like set teachers and everything. But a lot of our friends happened to be either musicians,
Doing
our
the same
band, people in
But-
acting class.
Growing up in Seattle, before Allie and I really kind of started in the industry, I would say that there were a couple friends that I'm still friends with to this day that have kind of like just held true and fast.
Yeah.
And close. Have definitely, they maybe were the ones that were like, so you're like an actor now. Like you're like a
famous
musician.
now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
like-
I know you as Amanda and you're like AJ now. Like
Yeah.
I remember having a couple of those
Ooh, that's
conversations.
interesting.
Right.
Yeah, that was weird. And then we got over it and it was like no big deal
fine.
and we're
Right.
still friends to this day.
It's funny.
So there was a couple of those.
I reconnected with a girlfriend who had
Yeah.
been like my childhood friend throughout, all of our early years when we lived in Seattle before we moved back to Los Angeles.
Shout out to Valerie.
Yeah, shout out
Hey,
to
Val.
Hey,
Hey,
Val.
Val.
And we reconnected recently, and she was telling me that she can't like watch anything that I'm on because she just is like, no, that's not Allie. I'm like, but Valerie, I'm playing a character. She's like, no, that's not how
you.
that's not how you act. And I'm just like, that is so funny. She's like, I just can't watch anything that you're in. And I was like, I actually kind of respect that.
Honestly, yeah, I get it. Because she's like, this isn't my friend.
Yeah.
And it's not blowing smoke up your ass. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, you were so
yeah, you were so good. She's like,
Like,
no, that's not you, and I
No,
don't
it's
like that
true.
character. I'm like,
Interesting.
fair enough.
That's a
How
true
did
friend.
you? So friends are fine. How did you guys date? I always wonder that about people
Again,
who are young.
People
in the
in the
industry.
industry. We didn't.
Like who? John Mayer.
No,
Who
no,
are you talking about? Aaron Carter. All the Backstreet Boys.
Sweetie, did you see that crazy? I don't want to. Did you see it? That crazy. I'm trying to get him
no,
on the show.
no,
so I don't wanna,
I
Get
saw
him
it.
on.
I saw it.
What did he do?
when he was
the
just
white
like
fur.
he was like, look at my teeth.
I know.
I was like, yeah.
I heard about
What, he
it.
got
I
messy?
did.
He goes,
know.
look at him.
Oh, he
Does
got
it
meth
look like I
teeth?
do meth? Look at my teeth. And I was like,
at
his
him.
teeth do look good.
He's like,
they
they
look
look
good.
good.
Better than mine.
They look good.
Yeah.
They look good. And then the person's like, why am I doing a Zoom?
Yeah, right.
What is that? What does it feel like to be like the successful ones that like got out and are still
Yeah.
okay?
Well, it
And,
kind of
like,
feels like I don't know if I would word it that way.
know if it feels like the
I would word it
successful
like
ones
the
that
ones
got
that
out.
like kind of made it, didn't really, struggled a lot
But are healthy.
in the middle, but like are actually mentally
Alive.
sane and
Right.
like
Yeah.
never had to go to rehab. Thank God.
right.
But it doesn't feel like the ones that made it and got out.
Really? You guys have always done well. Not only did your
mean, I
music do
guess,
well,
yeah.
not as well as it should have. Insomniatic, guys, go get it right now. But like even acting, you guys were always in shit. But you guys
Always
are always
working, yeah.
constantly in shit.
Yeah.
true.
Like,
I
that's
guess that's
successful.
true.
Yeah. No, you're right, because we sustained a career, and that is
Hell
successful
yeah.
in its own right.
I guess
mean,
our personal goals are so much higher than where
Yeah.
we've reached that I'm like, I'm just
Not that we
barely
take
getting by.
advantage.
Right?
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
day. Every day. I
every
feel
day.
that.
Hustling.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
good. That's good, though.
I think it
because
is good because our we've raised the bar really high. So it's
right,
not a matter of like, it's not good enough. It's more like, I have so much more I want to accomplish. So it doesn't feel like we peaked ever because I just don't feel like we're there.
Yeah.
But that's cool that you see the career differently. I mean, because you're right, it's been a really sustained momentum. I just don't ever feel like it's gone like that. You know what I mean?
Well, it went
Which-
like that at the beginning, I think.
at the beginning,
you know?
yeah. But then the quicker it does that, the quicker the crash
Hell
usually
yeah.
is. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's true. The grass
No, this is
always
good.
greener.
And now you guys are coming out with new music that's like very now and like it's gonna kill it. I can just tell. So,
It
like,
feels really
hell yeah.
good.
Okay, I have a question
Just
that
don't
you
do any videos in Hawaii on turntables.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, if you need help with that, I got you.
We got you. We got you.
Wait, I have a question that you don't have to answer because this show isn't about like me getting tea or anything, but I'm just genuinely fascinated.
tea or anything?
And I care about her a lot.
Yeah.
So you were in Easy A around
Yes.
the time
Yeah.
with Amanda Bynes.
We care about her too.
I literally, like, that's like one person in the world who, her and Britney Spears, those are the two people in the world. I literally want to like mama bird them and protect the shit out and figure it
Yeah.
out because I feel like people don't know how. Did you see signs of that? When did this happen? Because as a fan of her, I'm trying to figure out, I went through her
Yeah.
whole archive. Like, when did this
When
happen?
did this break
Oh,
kind of
interesting.
happen? Yeah. You know, it's funny because AJ and I were huge fans of all that and the Amanda show and
Yeah.
all and everything.
Yeah.
And she, when I met her, she was like, well, okay, hold on. I think I literally met her and I didn't meet her through
Easy A.
Through Easy A. I met her like prior to Easy A, and I told her about that movie for some reason. I don't know. I think she asked me
did.
what is my next project that I'm doing.
You did.
And
You
I
might
was
have met
like,
at an audition?
maybe, I don't know. I wish I remembered.
And
but,
Allie literally said,
but
"You're
I go,
perfect
I go,
for this
you're
movie."
perfect for this movie. You should ask your agent to go out for this film. Easy A. I go, you would be a really good Marianne. And she was like, oh, okay, I'll ask them. And then like 5 days later, she's like, I got the offer.
Oh my
and I was
God.
like,
Wow.
great.
Yeah.
I got
should be an
chills
agent.
from that story.
I was like, all right, damn.
Where's my percentage, though?
Yeah, exactly.
Allie
And
now
then,
works at CIA. Yeah. That's why she's in a two-piece suit.
Yeah,
ready
thank you.
for the meeting.
And then, you know, we started shooting, you know, whatever it was, like a month later. But I mean, not really. I don't think so. It was just like she was very sweet and nice and came over.
Maybe
and,
kind of eccentric.
yeah, just
But like, what
eccentric.
actor isn't?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and you could tell that like, you know, she obviously had been like a child star that, you know, had her family very much involved, I think, in her business, and now was like an adult and kind of getting away from that, which is, I think, you know, important for every artist to experience. So I don't know really when that happened, but it definitely made me sad. It was not like a funny thing. It was like a sad moment. Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because of the whole like the whole child star thing. I just feel like nobody's completely cracked it yet or figured it out yet because I feel like it's darker. Not we don't have to go there, but I definitely
is
feel
dark.
like there's some really darker shit than
Yeah.
anybody even realizes about that industry. Like we won't get into it, but it is. Oh God, I just want her to be okay.
Yeah.
She did an interview recently. She looked.
I know, we saw that.
I mean, I'm happy that she's fucking alive.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Another question. So this religious thing, because I grew up super, super like born again Christian or whatever. I still consider myself Christian, I guess. I don't know, ish. I still pray. Say
I love
Jesus.
how you're checking with Jesse.
I was like,
She's like,
I'm like, do I do? Cut to like a blow up doll behind me. But
Yeah,
my
right?
mom always, my very religious mom always says that God has a sense of humor and that's why he made me.
amen.
cute.
No, but what was that like growing? Because I remember reading interviews years ago, like in Teen and all these things, because I really was obsessed with you guys.
Blender magazine.
And I remember listening to Slow
J14.
Down as I was like
Tiger
trying to be a
Beat.
virgin till marriage, as if I had a
Slow
choice
Down.
being that fat kid. I was like, I'm saving myself.
You did have a
Nobody
choice.
wanted it.
Yes, you did, Jane.
As he's shoving a toothbrush up his ass.
No, by the way, I was just gonna say it was no regular toothbrush. It had a little vibration in there.
did.
A
Sonicare.
little bit.
Yeah,
Lost the
Sonicare.
battery. Like, well. and-
Oh my god.
No, but what was that like? And were people like fucking mean to you? Because I feel like, especially in Hollywood, especially with these crazy ass people, like are people, I feel like even when I first started YouTube, I would like mention in videos that I was kind of religious, kind of Christian, whatever. And people get so mad. I can't imagine being
people do.
in the industry.
And people really,
No, it's
it's
a good
funny.
question.
I think because religion.
So sweet you care about this stuff.
Yeah.
It is.
I think
It's like, oh, that did hurt.
Yeah, you're like, thank you. Yeah, let's talk about that.
That's why we got a couch now for you guys.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
therapy.
It's like
though.
therapy. I think that because religion can be so often used as a way to judge people, that people immediately
Want to
reject
attack
it
it.
and they want to
Or
attack
attack it, yeah.
And so I think for us, it was like a way of like, I don't know, people being able to, I don't know.
Take advantage of the fact that we were
Yeah.
nice by saying like they're
Yeah.
goody Christian girls,
Right.
and it's like, well, what's wrong with that? I mean, I don't know. There was one scenario that still makes Allie and I laugh. I'll never forget. Blender magazine. We were like 16 and 18, maybe younger, and
We invited
one of the interviewers
to our home,
over to the
which
house,
we never should have done.
which we shouldn't have done. It was too personal. But he came over, and our
Had
parents
dinner.
cooked a meal, and I know it was a lot.
Whoa.
And it was a huge spread in the magazine, and it was one of those things that was like a sit down piece.
Wow.
And he at the time, now I look back and I'm like, he did nothing. But at the time, what he wrote really hurt.
We were
devastated because
Really?
we were like, we're in a big magazine, and it's like it's kind of a
And
big
it's
girl
adult, it's
magazine,
cool,
and
yeah.
And I remember him just like, Allie and I had sung the national anthem at the White House, so we had a picture on the wall with Bush. And, he mentioned that in the article, like, they got Bush all over their house. And like, their parents cook them dinner every night, and they just sit there and wait for the meal to arrive, and it's hot. And,
Ooh,
you know what I
rude.
mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
we're 16.
And they're like, they live in a gated community.
And it was, it was like, they live in a gated
very-
community in Calabasas, and it's like, I'm sorry, like, but this is my dad's money. Like, I'm not paying for this house. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
if you want to say privileged or sheltered or whatever, it's like, I don't think there's anything wrong with those things if you're a kind person. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Allie, I don't look at being sheltered a bad thing. I think Allie and I actually, in a good way, I
think we were saved from some things that we didn't need to experience at
Yeah.
that age, Whereas I
Totally.
think some kids experience it and they didn't need to.
Right. I agree.
So I think, there were
he enjoyed
and
tearing
kind of
up
and
the
just
fact-
and loved the fact that like there was a religious aspect to it, like
Right.
they're so
He asked us about evolution, and we said something, and he flipped the sentence into like,
Oh no.
that we don't believe in
That we don't
evolution,
believe in-
whatever,
yeah, whatever.
And it's like it's fine. Everybody can have their own beliefs.
clearly this still affects me.
I know.
No,
But it is-
recently it came up again on Twitter, and I was like, that's that Blender magazine article.
It's
and
hilarious.
it really hurt at the time.
Yeah. I mean, but it's one of those things where, like AJ said, people I think, are looking for some reason as to like,
Yeah, they're quick.
Why are these girls so nice? Oh, well, then maybe it makes sense that they're like religious and sheltered, and their parents
Right.
are like, controlling other thoughts.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, I didn't grow up in a creepy church.
Yeah.
Thank God. Like we never had any weird, shit go down in any of those scenarios.
Sweat lodges and shit.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
no,
We weren't a part of a cult.
Yeah, sweat lodges.
it was very healthy and very all inclusive.
And then when we got older, we were able to also figure out what we wanted to do
On your
and be
own,
on our
yeah.
own. And
Yeah.
that's the most beautiful part about
Yeah.
religion. It's
Yeah.
like whatever direction you feel like is right for you.
I think the thing that bothers us the most about our religion specifically is that
The heavy judgment.
Is that there's a heavy judgment.
What is your religion?
Christian.
Yeah, Christian.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is that I think there's a heavy judgment that is just a part of every church in some weird way because it's like our way or the highway.
Right.
And then with the fact that the church in general leans to the right, which I think is just insane. I think it goes absolutely against everything that is taught in the Bible,
Right.
truly. So I think when anybody tries to use that as an
Yeah.
example of
Yeah.
like, well, this is, God says not, it's like, no, actually, he's down with everybody,
Yeah.
loves everyone, doesn't care who they love, what the color of their skin is. You've got it totally twisted, and you're reading the Bible like backwards. I'm confused.
I agree.
So that's the one thing.
But
that
it
I have an
stirs
issue
up a
with.
lot to be a liberal Christian. It stirs
I
up.
bet, and I'm sure
Yeah.
it's not easy. And like one of my friends is a gay Christian, openly, and he just
I mean,
kind of put a
that's
little
like-
video, exactly, but
Right.
no, I have my own relationship with religion, and I'm also
Right.
gay, but I also don't feel like God hates me for it, or
No.
all
Absolutely.
that kind of stuff.
Wait, did you
but-
just come out?
me? No,
you-
I grew up Catholic.
You just said you were gay?
No, my friend of mine.
Honestly,
you were gay.
I heard that too.
I was like, what?
Jesse's coming out right now.
I was like, this is.
Hey, I want God to
Wait,
know.
I want God to know.
That's amazing. God's like, oh honey, I know.
God's
like, "Girl, I made
that's
you."
how I made you.
Yeah,
I love
I'll
that.
turn that water into wine for
That
you
would
too.
be hard though for your friend, because
would.
that's
'Cause he
a
gets judged
major
off, man.
juxtaposition to be that. in a
Exactly,
church.
but like you said, it's open for interpretation, and
Totally.
people are going to read these stories the way they want to read them and interpret it, and that
Exactly.
way, and
Right.
do what you want to do.
Yeah.
By the way,
Honestly-
I love interpret it.
Interpret
That's what I do.
Honestly, one of my favorite sayings is "Do you?"
Yeah.
If that
That's
makes you
it.
I
happy
agree.
and you're stoked, great. As long as it's not hurting other people and you're not
Exactly.
harming other humans,
You're a good person.
then
That's
live
good.
your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do say the same
I
thing.
love that. Okay, I have a question, and it's kind of like really dark, but I kind of love the dark stuff, and we get really dark on the show. But once again, legally, I don't know if you can talk about this.
Legally.
I didn't know about this until I was doing the little extra research last night. Can we talk about just a little bit? Can we talk about it a little bit?
About what?
The stalker thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say.
If you can't, if you don't want to, we don't have
I
to.
think we can.
No, I think we can.
Because that shit, I do videos on stalkers and like murder. I do videos about this shit all the time. And I fell down a really dark hole 6 months ago about this one stalker who like lived in Jennifer Lopez's back pool house for 6 months and she didn't know.
Wait,
and he was
what?
like, and he was like taking pictures in it and like all these things. And then
Wait, how do you not know?
crazy.
She obviously
She
didn't
was
go in
like
the
out of
pool.
town a lot, and then he just snuck in and broke into her pool house, lived there for 6 months. Crazy, but like it happens a lot, and I've experienced some. I'm not a celebrity, but I've experienced some like weird situations.
Yeah.
Definitely, got a gate.
Yeah.
So what happened? How did that all go down? Or is there music about it on the new album?
There's no music
There's
about
no music
it.
about it. I mean, we're in a good place now. I mean, it was very scary at the time. I don't
guess
even know which one to refer to be
We
honest.
were
Really?
We had. It was really two that were
Two really serious
that were
incidences
serious. You know,
that
where
were
we
really
had, like,
after Allie.
where we had a detective involved and
And the police.
and the police.
People
I mean,
went to jail.
Yeah,
Wow,
it was
next
like
level.
a real thing where people did time. But
Were you ever physically like threatened, like in person or anything
No,
like
no,
that? Or?
thank-
Was this online or was
online
this like letters?
voicemails, letters.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then kind of caught physically at a show before anything was
Happened.
Yeah, before anything was
Potentially.
like content. Yeah, yeah.
See, and this is so. Last year, I don't know if you guys heard about this story, but one of my friends, this is really dark. But one of my friends got murdered by a super fan, Christina. Grimmie.
Yes.
And it was such a huge shock too, because I had weird situations with like stalkers and like little various, but like weird situations. And whenever I would like ask the cops or my neighbor is a cop and whatever, they would kind of brush it up because there's nothing we can do.
Right,
Like unless
that's
because
what's
they're not
so
actually
sketchy.
assaulting
because they're not
you,
doing
right?
anything. So it's like this weird thing, especially when you're a YouTuber, because they're like, you're not a celebrity. So it's like there's a weird thing. So how do you even go about like, and maybe this is kind of advice for some people listening, but how do you go about it? Like, do you have to like collect the evidence? Like, how do you go about even?
I mean, I think there's an aspect to like just making sure that you have documents, you know, where
Right.
you might have actual proof of that person, you
Saving
know,
all the voicemails.
stalking you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that was something that we had because it was important and part of like our, you know, getting this guy, you know, behind bars. But like, I think long term, I think a huge problem I think that we have with stalking, whether it's within like the industry and just outside of it, is social media.
Yeah.
In a weird way, it does not help.
Everything's so
Yeah.
personal.
Because everything's so personal and,
And then you
people
feel
feel
like
like,
you know
they
them.
know them, they're your
Yeah.
friends, they've maybe tweeted back to you and responded,
Right.
and then therefore someone is like, oh my gosh, now I'm dating them. It's,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
whatever it is. And people have mental illness, and sometimes that is a part of it.
Yeah.
Or trigger something, and so you try to be understanding on that other, you know, aspect, but
But at the same time, it's dangerous.
it's
dangerous.
dangerous,
You know, like-
yeah. And I think that's why, you know, I understand when some people say, like, I don't post any photos of my child on my Instagram, or I don't
Yeah.
talk about my relationship with my husband or whatever. You know, AJ and I have always been kind of open books, and that's just kind of who we are.
Yeah.
But I also totally get people just shutting out, you know, everyone from their life because they're terrified of someone knowing their own personal information.
Yeah. Well, even like the Snapchat thing, which is so, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but it's so crazy. Like, literally, there's a new feature on Snapchat where you can see like pinpoint
Location.
on Google
Yeah,
Map
that's
where you
creepy.
are.
Yeah, I don't do
Yeah.
any of that shit. I turn all
No,
those off.
that's weird.
I know.
Yeah.
I
I don't
can't-
like
Location
that.
services should
People
always
are
be
finding their boyfriends and girlfriends cheating on them that way.
Really?
That's
Yeah, because they're like,
That's
oh, you
a
said you're at the
show.
mall, you at Tiffany's house.
Exactly.
Right? Because
Wow.
your Bitmoji
Your
is there or
Bitmoji
whatever.
is
Yeah, and it's always a Tiffany.
Yeah, it's always
You
a
know,
Tiffany.
it's always Tiffany.
But you know what? The crazy thing is too is like checking in. Foursquare.
I don't like that because people know where you are and they
That
can
is
come and
like,
get you.
don't- Like locations should not be
Yeah.
on. You
No.
don't need to post where you're
I don't
at.
do that.
Like, I just don't think that's smart.
No, that my one of my weird experiences. I think I've told this on the show. Maybe I haven't, but I went to a restaurant and there was this guy. He was maybe like 50 or 60 years old, and he was like watching me, and then he came up to me and he said, "I've been coming here every day because I know you come here because I saw on a video and I looked at the tree and I knew where the tree was." And it was like this complicated
And you're like, what
situation,
the-
and I was like, and his nails were like this long, and he was like scratching his face, and I was like, "This is how I die."
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna get fries.
Gosh,
It was
you're like,
so
I'll get my
scary.
burger to go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was crazy. Anyways, okay. New
Did
music.
we even cover that? Okay, I think
Yeah.
we did.
What?
Like advice? Did we cover that at all?
Yes.
Because we went to a dark place, and I hope Allie and I helped. In some way.
Run, call 911. I mean,
Check your pool house?
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Yes.
new music. What is going on? When's the album coming out? Is there a tour? Will it be at Six Flags? Can I come?
We'll be at Six Flags. So we can't really get back out on the road until my commitment to iZombie is finished for the season, which we wrap January 24th.
Is it like
25th?
iCarly came back to life?
No, but that would be
it's
great.
not,
No.
but that,
Okay.
but I
iZombies
like
on the
that.
CW. It's like a big deal.
Very different.
We have people on the crew that are like love
cool.
that show.
Yeah, we do well. We all get along as a cast, which is like
They've been
the luckiest thing that I've been given.
They've been really supportive of the music. And
Yeah,
same with the
they're so
Goldbergs cast. I
sweet.
mean, we're really lucky that we're on great shows.
Yeah.
People we love. I mean, Allie and I, you know, in regards to kind of the next chapter in the music, 2 weeks from now, we'll be releasing the music video for the single,
Okay.
which is great.
What's the vibe of the music video?
Location, where's it looking?
Where's it located?
This podcast will be out later, so
Send me the pin.
Right.
Exactly. West Coast, 80s.
Yes.
It's at a house in the hills.
A little bit of a thriller
Like creepy.
interesting.
I don't mean thriller, Michael Jackson thriller. I mean thriller genre.
fuck
Like,
yeah.
Ooh,
wanna see
I
it.
love
You're
that.
like, I don't care
Like,
now.
never mind.
You're like, oh, fuck it.
Is there a little blood in it?
There might be a little blood.
Ooh.
I'm a horror junkie. I'm excited. Okay.
Okay,
You're
so
gonna
you got
like
stoked. And then the EP, the goal is, I mean, I don't want to say a date right now, but the EP is supposed to come out in October, which will be 4 songs.
Cool.
And then Allie and I are planning on releasing a full record next year, and that's when we would tours after the shows.
Nice.
Now, are you guys doing this like solo, independently, a record label?
Ish.
How does that all work?
I mean, we're with a distributor. Like we're not putting it out on our own, but it's Allie and AJ like LLC.
LLC.
Like it's
Right.
which is pretty legit.
Business. You better
ladies.
get that limited liability company.
Exactly.
Liability.
well, but that's the smarter way to go. Like I've
is
talked
kind
to
of independent.
so many musicians that
I mean, you
we've
do
had
end
on.
up recouping more, I mean, in the long run. But it's hard because you don't have a tour support, which you have at
You
a
don't
label.
have an in-house radio support. You don't
Yeah,
have tour
those other
support.
things
So
don't
You're
come
funding
with
a lot
it.
of
So
it.
you're funding a lot of stuff on your own. But that's why AJ and I are part of this really cool company called Pledge Music, which has like curated fan experiences up on our page that we help create that you pay for, and that
Yeah.
basically goes right into our music. Like
Right,
it's
right,
like
right.
you know you're paying for like an
It's
Alien
kind
Ninja
of a
t-shirt, but it's
Kickstarter,
not
but
like for us
really
to like
personal.
eat. It's like for us to
Right.
be able to go and do band rehearsals and to go and like
Right.
do more promo videos or whatever it is.
Right.
So
And
that's
it's all
kind of really
curated
cool.
by Allie and I, so it's like a personal fan experience, whether it's like you're able to watch the premiere of our music video, or we're going to do a listening party for you, or
Or you want Allie and
or
AJ
you
socks.
want old boots that we wore on tour that are like Fry boots
Yes.
that we wore early
Yes.
2000s.
All the stalkers are like, yes!
8.5, size 8.5.
You know what you guys need to do and you need to get in on is because such a huge audience on YouTube is obsessed with you guys and like grew up with you guys, like people my age, like really obsessed with you. You guys need to start doing like, I guess VidCon just passed, but I don't know if you guys even know about this, but there's these huge conventions that I hate going to. But there's like
No, I know,
100,000
yeah.
people
Oh, like
there.
BeautyCon and yeah.
Con, all these people. If you guys did like a fucking performance
show.
where you did all the hits and the new stuff, and oh my god,
I can
that
totally
would
see that.
get me
Yeah.
to go to VidCon.
Right, you're like, I would go even though
that's
I hate
amazing.
I
it.
would actually go because that's like that's the world. Like
We
you
would
need to-
totally start going to things like
I
that
would
next
do that.
year when we're ready for a live show.
I
we don't
thought
have our
that
live
you
show
were going to
together
say that we
yet.
need to do like a live blog every week, and I was like, I
I
don't
thought he
know.
was too. I thought he was too, and I was like,
can't do
that is not our speed. But the people that do it,
I'm like,
yes.
more power
No,
to
no,
you.
no, 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 no.
Yeah,
Wait, so,
I just-
wait, what do you mean? So you guys haven't done a lot? Have you guys not performed live together in like 10 years?
A long time. Not 10.
no.
We did some stuff. Okay, do you remember the Hot House era? The 70s
I have
Violet
questions
moment?
about that.
Okay,
You do? Okay.
So-
So it's been like 4 years since we
Because we did
performed.
some live stuff around that stuff.
Yeah.
Because the story is like, oh, they're back after 10 years, but I'm like, oh, they were back 4 years
I
ago.
know.
Yeah,
It's not-
I like that. I
But
like it.
under Allie and AJ,
They're right. They're
10.
technically correct.
But why did you guys make us? So you guys, for those of you who don't know,
wasn't good enough.
You had 78 Violet, which was another band, but it was you
yes,
guys.
it was
How did
basically
that-
us. It was us. If there was
was
nothing
us.
different about it except just the band.
we weren't in
name.
disguise.
So
Yeah.
why did you guys do that?
I think we had like a preconceived notion out there
Yeah.
that fans had of like who Allie and AJ were, and I think we were like, no, that's not who we are.
we
We're
wanted
this,
to
you know?
defy,
I think that was it, and it was just that we wanted to like shed.
That was your like Michelle
stigma.
Branch doing country moment.
Yeah,
Totally.
exactly.
No, absolutely.
That's
Right,
actually
right.
that's the
The
perfect.
Wreckers.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
love
the perfect.
them.
That's the perfect example. So I mean,
We were a little insecure about what Allie and AJ meant.
I think
Yeah.
to us at that time too, we were like, oh, Allie and AJ is so young. It's like, but that's us. Like that is my name. That's her name.
Yeah.
And that's also like something that we worked so many years to
Right.
grow. So we recently looked back
alienated
at it and just kind of
ourselves
said,
by-
why are we
yeah.
doing this to ourselves? Like this is our name. Yeah, I know it's not the coolest band name on earth. It's just our names. But like that's who we are. And let's just be real and screw this 78 Violet, which I don't even know what the hell that is.
I don't either. I like Hot House a lot, but we didn't.
We loved
to
Hot
answer your
House.
question, we never released a full album around that song because the music wasn't strong enough. I mean, honestly,
We had a full record that we
had a
just
full
shelved.
record that we shelved ourselves.
Wow.
And that's why it's taken so long. So that's why I think we consider it 10 years.
Right.
Even though, yes, we were still working on music and we played a couple live shows surrounding 78 Violet.
Right.
That record wasn't strong enough, and we knew it. We were like, nope, this isn't us yet. Let's keep finding it until it's right. We're not releasing anything until we know it's right.
So when am I going to be able to see you guys perform all the hits and the new stuff? Like when?
That would be next year.
Yeah, next year.
Yeah.
But I think
know.
we're going to do some LA shows, like little small tiny
Yes.
shows, which that
Yes.
you can get
Please.
invited
That you
to.
could definitely-
Both of you guys.
Absolutely.
We missed
It
the...
won't be like a full tour, but you
By the
know.
way, by the way, the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life, we had, do you know JoJo?
Yeah.
Get out! We had her on the
course.
show, who's so incredible, and her new music is actually really, really good.
Yeah.
And she was just like, "Oh, come to my show tonight." And she's like, "It's in, I don't know, girls, like Irvine, somewhere far."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Ooh, I couldn't make it." And then later, I saw on Snapchat the most poppin' show of all
And you're
time.
like, "Shit."
Would have been the best night of my
Oh no, you missed
So if
it.
you guys do a show,
You won't miss
please,
it.
Yeah, we
please
will.
Even if it's
DM
in, like,
me.
Carpinteria,
Let me
you're
know.
coming.
Yes, I love Carpinteria.
It's in Carpinteria.
I don't know what that means, but I'll be
It's up
there.
north. Let's
You're
go.
coming.
It's
You're
right below
coming.
Ventura.
Oh my god, you
Yeah.
guys!
But would you do like
Wow.
dive bar scene, like something smaller, just like more, not a huge venue,
Something
but
kind of small, yeah.
Yeah, not necessarily dive bar, but something. Yeah, exactly, something small.
eclectic.
Maybe what you should do, because you guys said you're worried about the name being too young, but you could do see with Kesha, who, by the way, I don't know if you guys have heard, her new album is, I'm putting it up there.
Really?
It's next to Insomniatic. One of the best
Wow.
albums. Have you guys heard Rainbow?
I haven't
Oh,
heard
yeah.
all of
It's
it. I haven't
fucking
heard all of it.
incredible.
I've heard songs
She's-
off
It's
of it.
fucking crazy. So like that, which I was not expecting. That album's incredible. She took the dollar sign out. Maybe you guys take the and sign away and you just put it with and.
Oh, that's cool.
Boom, rebrand.
And I love that doesn't even really make sense, that sound.
Cut the ampersand.
That's so funny.
Wow,
Oh my
that's
God.
actually not a
That
word.
Or what if
is
you
the
did
dollar sign? She's like,
AJ
no, I'm
and
dropping the dollar
Allie
sign.
instead of Allie and
switch
AJ?
us?
Just
It
switch
just-
them.
it
How do you say your last name?
It
I've
just doesn't
never
flow.
figured it out.
Mashaka. You know what? Think Shaka Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shaka. Yep.
Every
Yes.
time I think of you
Yep.
guys, I'll think
Yeah.
Shaka Khan.
Please.
Yeah, that's when you're like, ooh, I was making out with this man, but boy, he did a trick and shocked me.
Oh God.
No.
Go home.
He pulled him
Show's
shaka.
over.
Shocked me.
Guys, please
love
go
her.
follow Allie and AJ everywhere. It's just Allie and AJ, right? That's all.
Yeah,
you
just
have.
Allie and AJ. We
Right.
might do the ampersand, we might not.
You know what we need? Yeah, that's pending. You know what we need help with really quick before
Yes.
we leave?
I'll
Oh,
give it
yeah,
to you.
yeah.
You know what I'm going to say.
Maybe you just,
a
like-
fandom name.
Yeah, why don't you just work on this?
We
and
need
give
to
this
name our
us?
sweet fans who have been with us for so long and the ones
Shane,
that have
you
come
can
in
do
for the
this.
first time.
The McShockers.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay, AJ had an idea. Want to throw your
the
idea out that you
A's.
had?
A-team, the A-team. You're both A's.
Yeah, but
It's like a good show
No,
back
no,
in the
no.
day, Mr. T.
A-team's cute.
AA.
AA.
Keep it anonymous.
Yeah. Oh
it
my
works
God.
if you work it.
Allie and AJ Anonymous.
It works if you work it.
Yay.
Anonymous.
Allie and AJ's Anonymous.
Wait, what was
AJ's
your
said-
idea?
Oh, AJ's was Allie and Slayjayers.
Slay is on his way out.
I think
on
it
its
is
way
too.
out.
Shook is almost on his way out too.
Ooh,
So we need to
interesting.
find a
Okay.
new. Lit is
Okay.
gone.
Bop.
It's over.
I
So
Okay.
Stop
like
saying
Alit
that.
and A Shook.
Allit.
Nostalgics with two A's? Because our. Oh, okay.
Unless, do you guys have like a word that you guys always say to each other, or inside joke? Doesn't even have to go with your names.
mean,
I know, you're
It could
right,
just
you're
be
right.
like, I love pumpernickels, so I'm calling my fans pumpernickels or whatever.
Right.
You know, like, do you have anything? I don't. I'm
No.
just that's just the word that came into my head.
No, it's a cute idea. Like
But
raisins. Yeah, I don't know.
something that you two
Raisins.
have that's
Perfect.
that's like between you two, or an inside joke, or you know, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah,
that you
so,
say
I
a
mean,
lot,
you know,
or-
and then, well, that's a good idea. But also, we kept posting the emoji of the peach because of the butt on the cover of Take Me. So it was like, then people were like, what about where your peach is? But
I
that
was
only
like,
symbolizes
no,
like
that's just-
one song.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Like,
we're not known for our
we're not known
Yeah.
for butt.
What about
you know
fruit
what I mean?
salad? No, okay. Just like just
fruit
be
salads?
inclusive.
I mean, I don't know, guys.
Anyways,
It's
just
like,
I want
That will
you
be
to
the challenge.
meditate on that.
Guys, leave some comments. Tweet
no,
us.
honestly.
Yeah.
Hashtag McShockers. Leave us some comments.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, but yes.
That is so funny.
we
Do
need-
you
that's
call
one
like
thing we
kids
need.
anything really cute? Or you guys have any like sayings like that you say all the time? Like
I mean,
oh, girl.
Dringus. We call each other Dringus.
Our drinkuses.
Hello, Team Dringus.
I don't know. That sounds. It sounds like kind of racist, and I don't know why.
Does it?
Like to Australians,
Really?
I don't know. There's like a weird.
It's a John C. Reilly.
There's a ring to
It's
it.
a Steve Brule.
It's a Steve Brule reference.
Oh, hello. What Insomniatics?
But that's
you know what,
not a word.
My mom said that, but it's not a word.
It's
and
in
it's
our
from an old.
dictionary.
And
It
it's
is
from-
now.
it's from an
an old
old
record.
record.
I don't want to go back to that.
I do.
What about our rushers?
Everyone start thinking about
That
it.
sounds like a period.
It does.
Our Russians.
You guys Russian?
Yeah, you ain't from Russia. Why you Russian?
Our Russians.
Our Russians.
I don't know what to do.
That okay.
See, I told you guys.
good
this
question.
sucks.
And it's hard
funny.
because it's like you don't really want to use our last name because not enough people know how to say it or
Right,
know it.
right.
People know us as Allie and AJ. They don't even think of us with a last name.
Right.
So it's not like you can use Swifters or
No.
Selena Nader. Well, that's her first name.
Selenators?
But I don't know. I don't know.
By the way, who creates these fandom names? Is this just a
I
thing?
don't have.
Some
I don't
wizard.
know.
I tried to do Pod Squad, but you hated
No,
it.
fuck that. I think
like
it's
it.
cool that you
Pod
don't
Squad?
have
Pod
one.
Squad.
What about
it's like the fans of the
Dawsonators?
podcast.
Oh. I don't mind that. for this.
Dawsonators.
I don't know.
Right?
When people have names for their fandom, it makes me want to barf.
No,
then
honestly,
maybe we don't do it.
Maybe
I
it's
think
like,
you're
Look, I
too
kill
cool
the
for that.
idea.
Yeah, right?
actually, you know what? Maybe we are too
You know
cool
what?
for
Maybe
that.
we don't
Doesn't mean
establish
that we're
a
not
fan
too cool
name.
for our
And by the
fans.
way, why do
Right.
our fans need to be labeled something?
They don't need to
They're
be
their own
they don't
human
need to be
beings.
Triggered
lumped-
already.
Guys, they don't need to be lumped into one.
No.
They're non-lumps.
No.
They have their
They're
own
non-lumps.
They have their own names.
And they might be fans of multiple artists. Therefore, don't label them as one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, I think we
I
just
think you're onto that.
Yeah,
You're
and if
onto
it hasn't
something.
happened organically, then maybe
Then
it
it's not
shouldn't.
supposed to.
Then it's not meant to
You're
be.
right, you're
Do
right.
you?
It's not meant to be. Just
No,
do
do
you.
you?
Do you?
And call yourself whatever you want to be called.
That's right.
I love that.
And embrace it.
I love it, guys.
Vibe.
Guys, go get Take Me on all the places. iTunes, the Spotify, the
Title? Apple Music? No one uses Title.
Apple Music.
Apple Music.
I know. The song is really, really, really fucking good. Has radio picked it? They're going to pick it up.
I think they will.
They
I
better
think
pick
so.
it up.
I mean, it's not on radio right now.
It's not on radio
Guys,
now.
just
request is not even.
Spotify.
Do people request shit? I don't know.
don't-
But request
I
it
used
if
to
you
call
I don't
want.
know
in
if
a
that
request.
works anymore.
I don't know. I
I
don't
used
think,
to.
You know what?
You did?
Sadly, I don't think the
Yeah.
music business is that charming and sweet and simple
Anymore. Yeah.
It's not about calling.
I would call and be like, "Hi, can you play Ace of Base?" You know, like I saw the sign.
Oh,
They're like, no,
yeah,
we
no.
get
Yeah.
paid to play it.
That's cute, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This has been
been really
literally
sweet.
a dream come
Great.
true. I can't believe that I just did a podcast with you guys. This is so crazy. Wow.
so affirming
I
and
want to make
sweet
sure.
to
Let me go
us.
over my notes. Let me just make sure I
Okay.
got.
No,
I got everything.
please,
Okay.
I want you to go over
Let me go
everything.
through. Okay.
We also can have a little
Check,
private
check.
chat
Yes.
outside of
Okay.
this.
Full of the future. Got it.
A little
okay.
like a off the record type
Yes.
of situation.
Christian. Got it. How do you date? Got it. Okay. I
covered
think
a
we.
lot.
I think we
Yeah.
got it. Oh, Playboy. We didn't talk about that, but you guys just did Playboy. But you didn't show boobies.
But we didn't show
No, we
boobs, and
didn't.
it doesn't matter.
Boring.
It was a good spread. Yeah, kind of.
Boring. No, it was fun and we got cool images out of it.
All right, guys. Go check out Playboy.
Check out
But it's
Playboy.
only online. It's not.
It's
a physical
online
copy.
and it's clothed. But check it out.
check it out.
All right, you guys. We're gonna go get Ali and AJ's everything on everywhere.
And check
Jess,
out Pledge Music.
Pledge Music.
us out on Pledge Music.
What's your website?
AllieandAJ.com.
Oh,
It's pretty
and
straight
sign.
up.
Well,
Or and.
well, no, it has to be spelt out because you can't do ands.
Oh,
in
there
that.
is no ampersand for
Just like you can't do
URL
ampersand
like
on
that.
Twitter.
Oh
Yeah.
my God! Wait, I just figured it out. I know we said
ampersands?
The
Yes.
ampersand.
Oh my
I
God!
got chills, guys. I
I
got
just
chills
got
on that. I got
chills.
chills
Wait,
on
wait,
that. My hair is sticking out.
Wait,
The
you guys,
ampersands.
the ampersands.
Yeah.
And it's
it
capital
out.
A and capital A, or
Yeah.
is it amperfans? No, I ruined it. I ruined it.
Wow, guys, the magic just went like.
I literally shake it. Just get
Guys,
that off.
Yeah, the
ampersands is
ampersands.
Ampersands is good.
The ampersands.
Jesus approves.
He does.
Yeah,
You guys, that was prophetic.
That was the moment.
Honestly, you're amazing.
It felt
Both of
it.
you are. You guys
You're
are
like,
incredible.
thanks. Glad I can
felt
help
it.
you.
If we go with it, that's great.
Yes. No commit. Don't
If we
commit.
go.
Like, don't commit. AJ's like, we are not.
No,
like, we
no,
need an
because
out.
I kind of do
I
love what you
love
said
that.
No,
about
I kind of
not
love what
doing
you say about it.
something.
Now,
Like,
now Shane's like, no, it's the best idea ever.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine.
No, it's
Give me
hashtag
credit.
it.
Because it hit me. You know.
ampersands.
All right, ampersands.
Okay. It's
Is that
out
what I said?
ampersands.
It's cute.
It's cute.
Just ands.
Ampersand Fran.
I love it
Fans.
because they are part of that and Allie and AJ.
We are.
They are.
The and. They
Because
are.
they keep you together.
Yes.
They're the glue.
Oh my God.
Therefore, they're the ampersands.
They're the glue. And
You guys,
That's
it
it.
is
Guys,
so good.
This was a really fun chat.
And if they're obsessed with you, they can get the and sign tattooed on them.
but then our
Oh,
names
shit.
aren't on them, which is good. 'cause
which
I
is
don't
maybe
want. I
good.
don't want my
And they
name
just
on
have a
anyone.
random and.
Yeah.
This was a therapeutic couch.
I really enjoyed this.
I love this place.
I know AJ is going to be like, that was really fun, like genuinely.
Yeah, we're going to talk
I
it
love
when we're
that.
done.
Yeah,
No,
she's
knows.
going to be like
Ooh, I
telling
can't
me
wait
like,
for
that was
that.
actually like
How's my-
really fun, and I
You looked
want to come
up. Is
back.
my hair okay?
Oh yeah, you're
You
good.
know, I've been keeping
I'm
tabs.
actually going to go to a chiropractor after this and get a little
Yes, get an
adjustment.
adjustment.
I went yesterday.
I'm a little out of
good.
whack.
You did.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a
good
great
luck
guy.
with
So it was a good day. This was a good day.
It was a great, and I'm going to go see my godson now.
Oh, how old? How old is he?
2.
Oh, I love that.
AJ's like,
I don't know. No,
Right.
he's
Baby.
so amazing.
All right,
You guys are the
ampersand.
best.
We'll see you guys
Thank
next
you. We
time.
love you.
Bye.
All the effects. All the effects.